Alrighty, before we go any further and we go into any agenda or docket points whatsoever, I want to ask anyone, technically speaking, our next meeting should be on October 31st, 2020. Does anyone whatsoever have any problem with attending a meeting on Halloween night? First and foremost, I mean, the world is a little different this Halloween. Secondly, I mean, we're Christians, so not everybody actually takes part in Halloween. So yeah, as Bob has said, Halloween is canceled. Does anybody have any problem that they would foresee that would be like a scheduling error for them to show up on October 31st? If not, we'll hold the meeting as usual. I see no dissents whatsoever. For the time being, at least, we'll go ahead and say tentatively as usual that our next meeting will be 2 weeks from today on October 31st. I wanted to handle that before we got started as opposed to at the last minute. So, alrighty, so that means that our second agenda would be we've had somebody ask if we'll just remove all of the application info from our website and basically make it in such a way that we definitely point all of our applicants to Discord to find out any further information on applications, so they're already here. It's great that a lot of people find us through the website, but we don't want them to find us there, apply from there, and never meet us. We want them to meet us here before they take that application step. Anybody have a problem with us removing, strictly speaking, the application link from the website and kind of funneling people to Discord instead?
Would the link then be in Discord and then they just still go back to the website? Is that what you're doing?
No, you actually, the form itself is not actually on the website. It's actually a Google form. And when you fill out the new application, it actually posts in a pending applications channel here on Discord by default. Like, it doesn't go to forums anymore. So we don't really need the entire join page and all the links to the Google form on the website. We've had several people lately who we've never heard of, who have never been in the Discord, who've applied. And we would prefer that we met everyone and talked to them and got to know them like we used to do at TeamSpeak before they actually applied. So there's no need for them to apply on the website whatsoever.
Well, there are those who will never come in Discord and talk, so I don't know. Do you want them just not to be part of the community at all? I mean, in some respects, they're just not, so maybe it doesn't matter, but there are those people. So I guess I just don't know.
Well, that's a good point. That's why we're bringing it up in the meeting, because we want to get every thought that we can on this. I mean, do you guys think we should like leave things as they are, and maybe we can just add a little more emphasis to the Discord suggestion, or what?
If they aren't in the Discord, they'll never be approved. So I don't see what the point of having the link on the website is.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a true statement, then there is no point of them.
Yeah, they have to join the Discord so that we can gauge their behavior and activity prior to us approving it. So them applying prior to them joining Discord, or even never joining Discord, will never, like, the application will never be approved.
So yeah, it's just a matter of trying to make sure what little traffic comes straight to the website from places like Google or Facebook, that those folks will go, oh wait, they have a Discord, and they'll get to know us before they take every step.
Which is honestly still surprising, seeing as how when you load up the website, one of the first things that happens is this massive pane that slides in from the left that says, you should join us on Discord.
Well, you just got to remember there are those that that want nothing to do with that, but they want to be part of a community. So I guess, I don't know how you feel connected to a community if you don't come in Discord, but
yeah.
And yeah, so we Was it somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 or 3 applications recently, and we were like, "Who is this person?" you know. Right. So, just to make it official, anybody else have any opinions on like what direction we should go with that at all? It's kind of like an operational thing that we'll try to suggest even more than the giant slide in that people should come to Discord. But if we remove the application links from the website, people will basically go, well, how do I apply? Oh, well, they have a Discord. Maybe I should go there, you know.
Why don't we have a poll?
That would work.
The answers are backwards, be aware.
Votes, just one thing. What about, is there any way that we can have like the link force them to join Discord? Like force them to get, rather than redirecting them to the Google form, it redirects them to Discord, and then as their first fish stick method, it has a link to the application.
Actually, technically speaking, the link that goes to the Google form on the website could actually be a link to the Discord.
Which is still removing it, but yes.
So technically speaking, we could do exactly that, yes.
Because I agree with Tyker. We should have some way on the website to have them apply, but I think it should be, hey, come join Discord, then apply, so that we know that, hey, you're this person on Discord, and we want you to connect with our Discord community primarily, because that's how we communicate mostly.
Something that needs to be noted is that eventually the application will not be on the website or on Google Forms or on the internet at all. It'll all be done here in Discord through fish sticks
In some amount of
So-
time.
Yeah, and whenever
Yeah, so this is like
the
a
18 actually gets finished.
this is like a stepping stone, I guess.
Yes.
So my question would be, if we leave the link somewhere on the website, what good is that doing? If they are not going to be approved except by meeting us in Discord, what is the point of leaving it up?
Precisely why we're asking the question. I agree completely.
Well, I just heard a little bit of talk about maybe leaving it up there, and I still don't understand what the rationale is.
Well, it was more the idea of turning that link into a Discord link. So it's still apply. It's like you have a button that's very obvious to say apply, like the idea that I have is that it's streamlined for getting them to Discord and applying rather than just applying.
Well, see,
That's what I'm thinking.
another way to answer your question, Nick, is that the page that the application link is on is our about page, where we have rules listed and we have information about the community. So I'd prefer not to completely remove that page because it's very informational. So I agree with Imroth that it would make more sense to have it funnel people to Discord as opposed to straight to the app. But as far as its reasoning, I agree with you. Its reasoning is that it's very informational, and we should definitely keep that information handy, but it just shouldn't point to somewhere out there that doesn't matter. It should point straight to where we are.
So there seems to be a distinction here between the page and the link itself. Or is the application embedded in this page?
Oh, well, no, just the link is embedded in the page.
Okay, so the link could be removed without removing this informational page.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
We
Okay.
could change it to a join us on Discord link or whatever instead.
Right, well, that would make sense.
Yeah, do we have anybody that disagrees with that particular course of action? Alrighty, I'm a little concerned about your poll there, Scribe, because you got a lot of nays.
What?
Not sure if that's because we were explaining it
one
wrong.
nay.
No, you're the only nay, actually, Neo.
Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Fish Sticks,
It's
Fish Sticks
backwards.
decided to put up 2, then 1, rather than 1, then 2.
So wait, it wasn't fish sticks that confused somebody this time. It was the typist.
Whatever. We'll move on.
It's fine. We got to the bottom of
Alrighty.
that.
Thank you for your feedback.
Alrighty, so that would bring us to. I'm going to go ahead and jump down to Amroth's thing because I think he'll be able to put it out in such a way that makes more sense than me. So
Well,
Amroth, you got the
I
floor.
would, but I also would rather leave it as the last topic because it might go a little bit longer.
Oh well, in that case, Kessa has something in here about a Terraria server reset. Anybody interested in that idea? If you would like to expound, Kessa, please do.
Once you unmute yourself, of course.
That means I have to wake up. I was just gonna sleep through the meeting, but yeah, there's a handful of people who are interested in a Terraria server reset. Scribe is really interested. I'd like to play it because I didn't really get to play, except sporadically. The baby was not sleeping through the night then. She's still not, but she does it more often now. And I didn't see a whole lot of other interest though, but I have a feeling if 3 or 4 of us played, other people would join.
I mean, aside from the activity that I saw in the Terraria chat, there's been a deal of interest.
So the
including
people who
that
are
have never
playing,
played the game before.
yeah, the people who are playing primarily are totally behind the idea of resetting, right?
I believe so,
A
yes.
few of them.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a done deal. If the active people want it and the people who aren't active are interested, I think that's probably the best course. Definitely.
People can
we
join
had-
at any point, but yeah.
Anybody else have an opinion on Terraria server stuff at all? Any questions or concerns? Alrighty, in that case, I'll move on. The next thing that Kess had on the docket was Goatman specifically asked if we could have a finance channel, and it's been tossed around a day or so by several people, and we're kind of leaning towards why. So we kind of like to keep the amount of channels to a minimum, and we actually have 2 or 3 channels right now we're talking about trimming because they're not being used to a very high potential for their niche, if you will. We're thinking that a finance channel might be problematic for a couple of reasons. Number one being, well, first of all, to give a shameless plug, we have someone who's going to be putting out a finance blog pretty soon on CC's website, so we don't want to overshadow that. But secondly, finance is one of those places where you can give people advice in a very general and very broad way. But once you start getting into specifics, it gets personal real fast. And we just don't feel like an open public channel would be good for that. I mean, if people want private financial advice from somebody who knows the system and the way things work a little better, that they should do so in DMs. So that's just my take. I'm just saying that before I throw it out to everyone. Anybody interested in a financial channel at all? You have 10 seconds to reply. Alrighty, so the prevailing opinion seems to be it's kind of like the same. Welcome, Dino.
Dino.
See you, Dino. Alrighty, we'll consider that that Kess is answering the text, that it's too specific and infrequent, that it would be fine in general chat to be our answer. Bob would like us to plug AJ's Steam account protection guide. It's also a recovery guide because for those that aren't aware, Rob Tor had a little bit of a hacking incident with his Steam account in the last 24 to 48 hours. He's linked it in the Meeting Hall channel there for everyone. basically, it was a situation. It appears to Rob as if it was he just hasn't changed his Steam password in quite a while, and maybe had moved devices and had not turned two-factor authentication back on. And as a result, somebody was essentially trying to phish every single person he was friends with and get them involved in some hacking thing where they would basically give their information and passwords away as well. So we wanted to put out that guide on how not to get scammed, because if somebody like Rob can lose his account like that, it can happen to anyone. So that's anybody that has any questions about that, feel free. Alrighty, I think that brings us to you, Amroth. That's pretty much shot through everything else.
Okay. So there has been a discussion going on in the moderators chat for, well, basically this week has been the discussion. We've realized that we should really do a trim on the roles, the game roles that we have put up. Sky built a system. We've been using it quite effectively for the last year and a half, but it's high time we did some more trimming. So I'm going to be posting 2 lists here in the meeting hall text channel, and I'll be making an announcement at the end of the meeting as well, because I want people to be aware of this. We have made a list of potential list of game rules that are currently officialized, like there have 5 people who have voted and joined them. And then there's a list of ones that we're just going to be getting rid of because they're less than 5 people have voted on them. So just 1 second here. Okay, so in the meeting hall text channel right now, you will see 2 lists. The top list is the roles that we are considering removing because nobody's playing those games, or they had a certain effect, but now it's either become something else, or we have something planned for it. The second list is a list of unofficialized roles. These are roles that 4 or less people have either have voted for them, and we're just going to be getting rid of all of them because not all of those have been around for over 3 months and nobody has officialized, or haven't had enough to officialize them. The top list, if there's anything there that people right now or think they're going to be playing in the next, say, week, that's it. It has to be in this next week and be willing to be trying to use the role for it. Otherwise, we will be removing all of these. The 2 notable exceptions, or one big one, is the fact that we're going to change the Halo Reach role to Spartans and Halo Master Chief Collection, just because that way it's a little bit more optimized for everyone who plays Halo rather than just people who like to play Halo Reach. Just because we haven't got a huge amount of traffic on Halo yet, but I think it'd be easier if we can actually broaden it to the Master Chief Collection game rather than just have Reach. And yes, Bob, I know it's the best. The other one, I am coming up with a plan to change the devotionals role into something else. I'm just ironing out some details and figuring things out on my end, and then I'm going to be discussing it within moderators and council members to see what people think before bringing it to everyone else. Any questions, comments, or just, hey, go ahead, do the removes?
Would I be correct in saying that the fact that these are being removed does not preclude them from becoming roles again in the future if they were to be suddenly popular again?
Yeah, like literally, if tomorrow 5 people decide they all want to play StarCraft 2 and get a role going, people vote for it, get it going, it'll stick around. We actually got the list also had some time since the last time the role was pinged, and there are most of the roles that are listed here haven't been pinged since 2019.
Let me see if I can find that sheet. Where was it? I did post it in the mod chat, right, Emerald?
Yes, I pinned it too. So just look at the pin, Sky. But as I said again, once the meeting's over, I'm going to be also posting an announcement because we want to give this about 48 hours before we actually go through with it. The unofficialized ones, that second list, is going to be removed today because they have been officialized. The top list, we're going to give it about 48 hours to see if somebody has any objections or has some reasoning behind why they should be kept. Just while I'm at it, I'm going to pin the message in the meeting hall, and I am going to make a note of it in the announcement when I make it. I'm actually going to pin the second one too. The information that we've exported, Sky, that you put into the meeting hall. Yeah, the big idea is we want to make the game rules active ones, and we also want to make sure that people are using them. If they're not getting used, we'd like to remove them because there's no need to have them if nobody's using it or we have not enough people playing it.
Yeah, and that's something else that we've been trying to iron out exactly how that's supposed to work. Long ago, when we decided that roles were going to be a thing, that Fishstick should be able to handle dynamic roles about people what people wanted to play, be able to ping, that kind of thing. We knew that inactivity and role stacking was going to be a problem, and here we are. But the determination for how roles will be automatically trimmed was never fully ironed out or completely implemented. And so that's something that we need to discuss if I can't figure out something completely. Neo, what's your question?
My question is, I know some operations that you perform can like break the bot, things like that. Let's say user A has like 15 roles, and 10 of those roles are about to get trimmed. Is it going to break anything when you trim those roles?
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
If a role that has been officialized gets made into, like an actual Discord role, and people pick it up and they get assigned, when it gets deleted, it automatically gets pulled by Discord from everybody because it doesn't exist anymore. As for the conditions for like automatically trimming everything, I believe the consensus so far, just based on what we've been discussing in the mod chat, is that after a role has been inactive for some period of time, there's going to be an announcement that gets posted that pings that role, and anybody who is in that role needs to react to that message, whatever, do something, show activity, or else it gets deleted some short period of time later. Originally the plan was just after some period of time make an announcement. If nobody pings it, then delete it. But I mean, by that logic, somebody could keep a role alive with only one person in it because everybody left alive simply by pinging it immediately after the auto notification. So we're thinking that keeping a healthy pool up by forcing reactions is probably a good idea. Roles that go inactive before they're even officialized will just get deleted because it takes 15 seconds to run the command again anyway. So, I don't know, six months. How's 4.5?
How's 3?
Three seems slim.
My thoughts
6
are
seems like a lot.
if it's a fad that sticks around for a month and a half, people use it a bunch, and then 3 months later, everybody's done playing it. Cough, cough, Apex Legends. I don't want to see it for 180 days.
Yeah.
I would consent to 4 months just because it's a little bit longer, but I don't. I think half a year is too long to leave a role that nobody's using.
Of course, it would do it backwards.
Of course. You didn't catch me this time. Ha
You got somebody else.
I have to agree with Kez on that.
Yeah, the important thing is that the implementation gets added. Like I said, the thing that we really want to figure out is the best means to make sure that the role that's about to get axed is actually receiving the activity that it needs to stay alive. Which right now I think just reacting to the announcement is more than enough. So, I mean, if anybody has any opinions on that, I'm open to hearing them. So, okay, well, if that's everything that people have on this, looks like 4 months seems to be good. 3 months before auto announcement, 1 month to react.
I think that makes sense.
So, yeah,
Seems like a fair amount of wiggle room.
yeah. I mean, that's
Any
a
other-
long time. I'm probably gonna have to have the notification announcement pinned. People can find it.
Anybody else have anything they want to throw in about that? As opposed to a month.
So
1 to 2
half a
weeks.
month. Because I was just gonna say 48 hours. Like,
Been warned.
yeah.
2 days later.
I guess I don't think so.
Then you guys can start out as harsh as you want, and if it turns out that, oh, we're losing roles, that, oh my goodness, we need to spend 15 seconds to recreate, and we don't want to do that, you can bump it up.
All right, 10 seconds to comply.
Gosh, I think that's a little too harsh. I leave you to judge.
1 week.
Well, if I'm understanding correctly, all that's required to save a role is to ping it, which is not that
No,
significant an
to
ask.
react. You have to
React to
the
a
announcement.
ping.
Yes. Pinging it would be. It's too simple. I mean, either I require 5 pings towards the roll or 5 reactions to the announcement. And it's easier, more conducive to have 5 reactions to the announcement. Or at least 3. Let's say 3.
The point being, it's not real hard.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so then we're leaning towards about 3 months before the announcement, about a week after to react.
Yep.
97 days of inactivity.
That's pretty long.
It's fine by me. There's roles in there that have existed for quite some time.
Yes.
And thanks to Amaroth's work, you will be saying goodbye to several roles this evening. Make sure everybody understands that.
like I said, I'm going to be putting an announcement out after this meeting. Yeah.
Hold a roll, funeral.
The rules will lie in state. All right, Eli, you've gone too far. Just want to say that. Alrighty, let's go ahead and call that closed unless anybody has anything else to add. Anybody at all?
Any questions about version 18 of Fish Sticks?
ETA when?
Let me pull up the project page.
He had to ask the worst question.
So version 18 is currently sitting on 13 items done, 3 in progress, 31 to do. So before I started V18, I said about 3 years. So we're probably talking 2 3/4. No, this is a stopgap update.
Can Fish Sticks
Mainly
like
because I can't do a one-off thing because the entire framework is being changed. It won't work like that.
can Fish Sticks remind me when my milk is about to go bad?
Technically, yes. He can already do that. No, Bob. Okay, so the reason that version 18 is such a big deal is because between version 17 and version 18, the Discord.js API made a groundbreaking update between 11 and 12, version 11 and version 12, and they changed like everything. They added a whole bunch of new structures and little gizmos I need to work with now that replace a lot of the framework that version 17 uses. I'm honestly kind of impressed that version 17 still runs. But I'm trying to get version 18 done so that way I can do refactors in the future on a much more easier level. And so version 18 is a stopgap update because if I do any sort of implementation prior to, it's going to break everything because like the entire framework of Fish Sticks is being rewritten. The entire thing.
So it's
handlers, events, everything.
It's like you're going from cheapo store brand Fish Sticks to gourmet Alaskan haddock Fish Sticks.
Sure. No, Bob. No, I cannot. Because that was one of the things that they changed. Like, it's no longer just .delete. That's not a thing anymore.
All right, not to like be disrespectful at all, but does anyone else have any open meeting business of any kind unrelated to anything else we've talked about this evening? Anyone at all? Any questions, concerns, suggestions, thoughts? It does not matter what the subject. Oh.
Never mind. I think everybody here already knows that the Jackbox games are free to play as long as the host already has it. I'm finding out that people don't know. They think they have to own the game before they can play with us. So.
That will be noted in the meeting minutes as well.
Might be worth mentioning that it's free in the announcement if that isn't already done.
Yeah, I think I've updated the one for next Wednesday, and I'm going to keep that in there.
And we'd like to encourage any more games like that. Among Us is a game that I honestly might not have bought through Steam for the computer, but it's perfect for a mobile device. So yeah, any games like that you come across that would be like particularly made for groups like ours, feel free to share those. And there's Football shameless plug for Among Us tonight. Alrighty, that's it. So last call. Anyone have any open meeting business whatsoever? Anyone at all? Alrighty, we'll call this meeting closed. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Leaders, do we have any reason to go into closed session at all? Anyone at all?
Nope.